Well, it's bitterly cold here, but protesters are now 4.5 hours into an 8-hour sit-in just over there. And as you can see, there's a huge police presence here. There's literally blue lights as far as the eye can see. But even without the protesters, the tensions over this new abortion restriction are plain to see. There's graffiti of abortion helplines plastered over posters supporting pregnancy. And just this morning, organisations that have come out in support of today's women's rights protest received bomb threats. That's obviously an extreme example, but just goes to show how divisive this new law is. We've been looking at how access to abortion has been playing out here, and a warning, there are distressing scenes in our report.
Sunday Mass in one of Europe's most Catholic countries, where families cram into pews across Poland despite the pandemic, and where the preachings in here are increasingly reflected in the country's laws. The latest is an almost 30-year law allowing abortion in cases of severe fetal abnormality, ruled unconstitutional in October and came into force at the end of January. It means that 98% of abortions in 2019 would now be illegal, a near total ban, sparking outcry and tens of thousands protesting across Poland.
This is the main intensive care unit.
This hospital in Poznan is on the front line of the law change. It's the biggest maternity hospital in Poland.
We are getting ready for that bigger number of those very sick babies.
Already they're having difficult conversations with parents who no longer have a choice when it comes to continuing with a pregnancy with fetal abnormalities.
Many parents, the option of access to abortion should be available. The trauma of having no option is immense. Already we had conversations with parents who feel they feel so trapped and so forced that they cannot start thinking in any positive way about it.
That must be hard for you. Your job is to make babies better, and in some cases, especially in the future, that just won't be possible.
It's not easy because the main motor in our job is that you see the success. But when you think of it, that the true success is acceptance, no matter how sick the baby is.
One of the babies that she cared for was Anya. She was born with a heart condition and leukemia and died at just 9 days old. Her parents could have opted for an abortion at the time, but it went against their Catholic beliefs.
Te 9 dni, kiedy tak naprawdę pokochałam ją do granic możliwości, tak jak po prostu matka kocha swoje dziecko, które rodzi. Ania umarła na moich rękach.
Mimo tego, że były nawet momenty, kiedy się cieszyliśmy tym czasem wspólnym, to nikomu absolutnie tego nie życzymy. Potrzeby są ogromne i na pewno to powinno być wszystko przemyślane. No i tutaj nie zawaham się słowa użyć w związku ze zmianą prawa. Jeśli się mówi A, to trzeba powiedzieć też B.
Access to abortion in Poland was already severely restricted before the law change, but now it's virtually impossible. We've spoken to one woman pregnant with conjoined twins with shared organs who doctors say have little chance of survival outside the womb. She's made the heartbreaking decision to terminate the pregnancy, but to do that, she either has to cross the border or find someone here to do it illegally. Such is the fear and stigma around abortion in Poland now that nobody was willing to speak with us on camera. Charities say they're busier than ever supporting women seeking an abortion.
They are petrified, they are traumatized, they have depression because of that. Not only because of the diagnosis that they've heard of, but because of the lack of help. They feel hopeless.
What is happening to these women that makes it so difficult to speak out?
They are afraid they can meet very bad reactions, that they are those who want to kill their babies. And this is something awful.
Recent polling shows that a majority of Polish people don't support the change in law, but it fulfills a long-held dream of the ruling Law and Justice Party to clamp down on abortions. In 2016, they had to abandon their attempts through Parliament after protests on a scale unseen before. This time, they used a constitutional tribunal packed with party loyalists, a move driven by this MP.
Every life matters. Every unborn life matters.
What about the lives of mothers, though, that have a very traumatic and difficult time going through with a pregnancy which they know will ultimately end in the death of the child?
Surely there are difficult situations and it would be difficult to deny, but anyway, the life of the child is something more basic than other rights which concur in this situation when you have two values, right to life and freedom of the woman. The right to life is more important.
The fear now is a government intent on rolling back women's rights is emboldened, threatening to further eliminate choice for women, with the looming influence of the church ever present.
Well, the protest is still going on here, peaceful so far, but protest leaders say they know that things aren't going to change here quickly, but there's too much at stake for them to stop now. If the government here thought that by bringing in this law in the middle of a pandemic that they'd finally put this debate to rest, well, it was a huge miscalculation. And the organisers here say that they're unsurprised by the government's move. They didn't expect anything less, but where they are disappointed is with EU leaders who they say have failed to protect their rights.
Anya Pop in Poland there. And if you've been affected by any of the issues in that report or in the programme, you can search for the Channel 4 website and access support. That's at channel4.com/support.